All right, there's one other option that's available to you if you're trying to create very, very small type, specifically for the screen. And when I say specifically for the screen, that means web users are going to really like this. Let's say I switch my type to 12 point and I turn off anti-aliasing. I'm going to zoom in so we can see this type a little better. So I'm going to press the return or enter key to activate the font option in the options bar. And I'm going to enter G-E-N-E, Geneva. Geneva is a Macintosh font, so you Windows users won't find Geneva on your systems. It's a Macintosh font that's been around on the Mac since the very first version. On the Windows side, I would try something like Arial or System. And this font, notice, doesn't look so hot at this size. This is like a typical everyday average Macintosh screen font. It should look beautiful in a screen rendering, and yet it looks pretty clumsy. And one of the big reasons is we have 2 pixels of space between the G and the O. Notice that right there. And 3 pixels of space between the O and the G. So that's lopsided. And I know it's only a couple of pixels, but there's only 3 pixels at most going on here, so it's a 50% difference between the spacing of the O and the G and the G and the O, which should be identical. So what in the world is the problem? Well, it's the way that Photoshop is calculating the character spacing. Photoshop is calculating the character spacing for print. To solve this problem, I want you first to click inside the type, just by clicking anywhere in the type, it doesn't matter, with your type tool. And then press Command or Control T. Now, go to the Character Palette menu and turn off fractional widths. Bang, the character spacing gets better. With fractional widths off, you're going to get the best character spacing possible for very small type with anti-aliasing turned off. So if you're a web user creating very small type with anti-aliasing turned off, very small screen type, then turn off fractional widths. If you're creating big type, like 24 points or bigger, and you have anti-aliasing turned on, and you want it to render as good as it can, and you want the characters to be spaced so that they look very believable at larger sizes, then turn fractional widths on. So that's how it works. That's a very interesting option for web users.